Mastemon is back again with the brand new Mirei and Angel supports, which is going to be one of the most popular decks for the BT11 format. Digimon fans, welcome back, and today we'll be showcasing the brand new updated version of the Mastemon deck profile list. We got a couple of really good cards from BT11 that supports the Mastemon archetype and Angels, which gives this deck even more ways to play than before. Mirei, being one of the first 5-cost tamers, is game changing and it can help you turbo your Mastemon combos faster than ever. We also got a brand new Angewomon and LadyDevimon that further supports the archetype of searching and consistency to the deck. There are tons of ways to build Mastemon, and you can personalize the deck in any way to suit your style, and here is my very own build to help you guys to get started. If you guys are beginners, then don't worry, I also got tons of combos to show you guys to help you learn how to play the deck as well, so definitely stick around for that. But first and foremost, I want to quickly ask you to kindly subscribe and turn on that notification bell if you haven't done so yet. We got lots of BT11 deck profiles and content coming your way, so you definitely want to stay tuned for more. Also, be sure to give this video a like because it just really helps and I really appreciate the support. Alright, let's begin with our Digi-Egg cards. We got 4 copies of the Demi-Meramon and the 1 copy of Narumon. Both these eggs are really just for you to have draw power and trash power. That's really it's all about. I decided to prioritize more on Demi-Meramon in this current format and most updated build because I really want to actually chip damage early and I want to actually be drawing a lot more earlier than I need to sort of see my combo pieces than before. On the other hand, Narumon is more for late game draw power when you do get into your master combo, into your top end combos, and that's kind of a bit too late for me in some game situations. Therefore, this is why I decided to go with this kind of egg lineup. And I think having 5 eggs is pretty good in a Mastemon deck, simply because you do tend to prolong the game a little bit, and having that extra egg does help at times. Okay, now let's talk about our rookies. 3 copies of Tapermon. You guys can see why there's a lot of synergy with this card with Demi-Meramon, especially in the early stages of the game. Because of Undeletion, you get to drawing cards, so with the combination with Demi-Meramon together, you get to draw a bit more cards, find your pieces, and then, yeah, that's really what it's all about. Then next we got the brand new 3 copies of Ignitemon in BT11. This one can Digivolve for 0 on top of a Cross Hearts Traits egg, but that's an effect that we kind of don't do at all in this deck because we don't play Cross Hearts. But it does have a very new interesting main effect that Purple got, which is when attacking by deleting one of your other Digimon, you get to delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with level less than or equal to than that Digimon as well, which gives you really good versatility now. It gives you a good option to delete your own stuff and delete your opponent's stuff at the same time to give yourself value. And you guys know with Purple decks, there's a lot of combos sometimes that you actually want to delete your own things to apply even more combos and pressure for later on with the combos too. And then also has a really good inheritable that synergizes very greatly with this deck because all turns once per turn when you play a Digimon by an effect, you get to gain a memory back, and we do a lot of combos by playing Digimon with effect in Mastemon deck in general, so this helps a lot and it's just a lot of value for sure, and it's all turns also. So I actually posted a Mastemon deck list along with many other BT11 decks for the Avault Club membership a while ago. If you guys want to see early special content, then definitely join the Avault Club membership right now. By joining, you will get access to exclusive membership-only community posts for all my first draft deck profiles before anyone else, and updated deck lists too. So what are you waiting for? Be sure to click the join button right now, or the link in the top right, or in the description box down below, and I look forward to engaging with all of you guys, and thank you so much for the support. But let's get back into the deck profile. Then to round off our rookies, we got the Floodgate ones, 2 copies of Psych and 1 Gazi. I personally really do want to do 2 and 2 instead, just for a wider coverage on different matchups, but you guys can really juggle around the ratios based on our rookies and your personal preferences. Psychmon's just really good against like cross decks, and I have seen a lot more cross decks personally in my tournament scene, which is why I go for Psychmon. And then Gazi is also a really good well-rounder to stop most decks that just gain memory essentially. But yeah, play around with the ratios based on your personal preference. This is the lineup I decided to go for. Okay, that's it for rookies. Level 4s, I feel like I've done this so many times because we've always been showcasing 4 copies of the Gatomon from the Mastemon starter deck right here. This card is just, once again, still your important core card of the deck. It's your main searcher. You always want to be hard playing this. grabbing you 2 hits potentially is always really good. Letting you reduce cost when you're digivolving into your angels and gives you the inheritable of end of turn DNA is really what this combo deck is still all about. And yeah, you definitely want to play 4 of for sure, 100% and no less. Then for newer level 4s from BT11, we have a brand new Devimon and a Angemon. These two cards synergize very greatly together. First and foremost, Devimon has your turn while you have a yellow Digimon or tamer in play. This Digimon gains Rush and Retaliation, which is going to be really good. This is like your brand new substitute for Black Gatomon, which we used to play. But yeah, that's really what he is there for. Angemon, on the other hand, on deletion, if you have a purple Digimon or Tamer in play, you get to play a Devimon from your trash without paying its memory cost. So there's a lot of synergy between these two cards. A really cool quick combo is you can even swing in with Angemon for chip damage and then potentially have it get deleted in security battle or somehow get it deleted. And then you get to play your Devimon back from the trash and you get to make another swing, which is a little bit of like a really nice aggressive and versatile play along these two cards, which is really fun and cool. So that is it for all of our level 4s. Now, let's talk about our level 5s. And let's start off with the yellow ones as per usual. We got the 3 copies of the brand new Angewomon here. When digivolving, you may search your security stack to add 1 angel type or Archangel, Fallen Angel and its traits and add it to your hand. And if you do, you get to recover 1. Also, your turn once per turn, when you play a LadyDevimon or a Mirei, you get to gain a memory back, which gives you Val, which is really, really nice. And then it has the inheritable opponent's turn while you have a purple Digimon in play. All your Digimon with Angel Archangels basically gain blocker, and this is really good because now this gives you more form of searching. Searching your security is great because you can access cards that you actually really need, which you don't get to normally. And yeah, some people might play 4 copies of this to really maximize the efficiency and consistency, but I think 3 copies has worked out very nicely for me anyways. That's only because my personal playstyle, I still really like having these 2 copies of the Angewomon from the Mastemon starter deck, because on play you get to minus security 2 on one of your opponent's Digimon. But not only that, you guys know me, I love aggression, I love aggressive play sometimes. When you see the opportunity to do so, her inheritable can give you a lot of value, because your turn while you have a purple Digimon in play, this Digimon gains security +1, so they can do more damage into security and win a little bit faster sometimes, which does happen quite a bit. Okay, now for the purple side of things, the brand new LadyDevimon from BT11. And this one's also when digivolving, you can trash 1 card from your hand, and if you do, you get to grab a Mirei or a Angel back from your trash to your hand, which is going to be really good. Great for also just like kind of like searching, but accessing your trash to grab pieces that you need for your combo plays. And then very similar to the Angewomon from BT11, your turn once per turn, when you play an Angewomon or a Mirei, you gain a memory back. So again, value for sure. And then the inheritable is also your opponent's turn while you have a yellow Digimon in play. All your Digimon with Angels basically gain retaliation, and with the combination with the BT11 Angewomon together, a lot of stuff basically gain blocker and retaliation. So really good defensive board setup you can have with this card. It's just going to be really good. And yeah, then I still like to run the 2 copies of the LadyDevimon from BT3. I just really like the draw power. She is just really good and consistent at what she does to help you draw 3 cards potentially and then discard 2 cards. Really good. Again, just to search for pieces, trash stuff that you want to set up in your trash. And also with her inheritable once per turn, when you use an option card, you get to delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon, which comes up every now and then because we do play a bit of options too in this deck for sure. Then to round off for all the level 5s, we got the 2 copies of Lucemon Chaos Mode right here. For those who are new to the card game and don't know what this card does, it actually is really good for the deck, because it can first reduce its hard play cost, but mainly you actually want to be playing it via effects, especially your Mastemon, which I'll talk about more in the combo segment later. But on play / when digivolving, which you never really digivolve this card ever, you get to delete one of your opponent's Tamers or a level 6 or lower Digimon. Once again, comboing with Mastemon, you can remove 2 things. It's just really good. Some players might opt in for only 1 copy. Some players play 2. I personally want to see 2 just because I like that combo a lot, and I like being able to remove and control stuff as well at the same time. It's always just going to be really good, and it's a good body to have on the board for sure. Okay, level 6s. 3 copies of Mastemon. She is your core boss Digimon of the deck. You always want to be seeing her. Your combo is always going to be revolving around her to DNA Digivolve, and that's really always your utmost priority. When digivolving, place 1 yellow or purple Digimon card from your trash to top your security face down. And then if this card is DNA Digivolve, you get to search your security stack, play a level 5 or lower purple or yellow Digimon back from it, and then for free, and then you shuffle your security afterwards. She has a second effect where all turns when you play a Digimon via an effect, and you get to delete one of your opponent's Digimon whose level is less than or equal to. So yeah, a lot of synergy with the Lucemon Chaos mode, which we just showcased. But yeah, 3 copies is really all you need. I know some people play 4 for further consistency when they really want to just turbo into Mass A as soon as possible. That totally works. But yeah, I kind of like to spread out a little bit with my play style as well. Then 2 Afani Fall Down modes is still really good for this deck because an alternative level 6 for you to normally Digivolve into if you can't go into your Mastemon combos. Really good for the early stage of the game because when you Digivolve, you get to delete a Digimon your opponent has as level 4 or lower as long as it has a purple card in its Digivolution source. And if you have a yellow source, you get to recover 1. So really, really good double effects. And then on deletion, you get to play a purple or yellow level 4 from your trash for free as well. So really good floating capability and just always a really good secondary boss Digimon for the deck. Then I still really like the Raguelmon and the Ordinemon package because when you're low on security, Raguelmon and Ordinemon combo together, he makes a huge comeback to bring you back into the game and even stronger than before. They can wipe boards, recover your security, and you play stuff. Just really, really cool. But once again, I'll show you guys, for you guys who are newer to this deck, the combo of how this all works later in the combo segment too. And then last but not least, we have one Defix right here. Defix has been lesser needed compared to before, but still a really, really powerful generic card, especially if you're against any decks that go super wide. It's just super needed for sure. You guys don't necessarily have to play it. You guys can play something else if you guys prefer as well, which I have a lot of different options and suggestions after the deck profile. But yeah, Defix is definitely, if you have it, I definitely suggest playing one anyways. That's it for all of our Digimon. Let's showcase our Tamers. And of course, super excited to talk about this brand new dedicated tamer for the entire archetype where we have Mirei, and the very first tamer that costs 5 for you to play. Now, she has a very simple first effect. At start of your turn, you gain a memory no matter what. Really, really good. Lots of value there. And then her second effect is really where your main bread and butter combo that you want to be going into for this particular build now. Your turn. When one of your Digimon digivolves into Angewomon or LadyDevimon, if you have 1 or fewer Digimon, meaning that there's only 1 Digimon on board, by suspending this tamer, you may play 1 Angewomon or LadyDevimon with a different name that you digivolved into from your hand without paying its memory cost. So immediately, really, really great value. And again, a lot of cool combos you can be doing with this card now. Just can't wait to show you guys. But yeah, you definitely want to play at least a 3 of. Some people play a 4 for even maximizing consistency. But I think 3 is good enough because 1 is really all you need in most of the games anyways. So yeah. And then for the other tamer, we still play the 2 copies of Kari. She is your memory tamer, which is still really, really important. And also, since we do recover a lot, which synergizes very nicely with her second effect, is when you add a card from your security stack, you get to suspend her to gain a memory back. So yeah, doing some really neat combo plays is really good with her. That's it for tamers. Let's talk about options. Still one of the best options and type of removal of the game. You definitely want to play the 4 copies of Chaos Degradation, Mastemon's signature move. Main, you place one of your opponent's Digimon face down at their top or bottom of the security stack, and then you trash the top of your opponent's security stack afterwards. Really, really great for that main effect. The security effect lets you place one of your opponent's Digimon at the bottom or top of the security stack, but you don't get the trashing part afterwards. There's very few protection against this card, so this is like your main removal for sure. Then for more removal options, we have the 2 Flame Hell Scythes, Ordinemon Fall Down Mode's signature move. Still a really good card to have, minusing something that's 6000 DP. You know, weakening your opponent's Digimon or potentially deleting it is really, really good. And you get to play something that's 6000 DP or less back from your trash. But not as prominent as it was before because there's a lot of newer cards you want to make room for. So there's not a whole lot of room to play more Flame Hell Scythes. But 2 has worked out very nicely for me personally, and I really like it anyways. And then 2 purple memory boosts. Of course, searching is great. Delay memory is great for the purple type deck. And because we play a purple base, purple memory boost is definitely the way to go for sure. And then finally, of course, one of the best staples in purple, Calling from Darkness. Delete one of your own Digimon so that you can grab 2 purple Digimon from your trash back to your hand. Just a really, really good card and lets you combo and do a lot of crazy plays for sure. Alright, that's it for the main deck. Let's talk about some other cards that you guys can also consider adding into this deck. Mastemon is super fun because there's so many different ways you can build it. You can juggle around with your ratios, and there's still a lot of really good support, even from older sets, which helps out a lot. So We still have like the Meiku and the Maycrack package. These two are really good cards. If you like to play Meikumon, it's just really, really good. I personally don't really like to play it as much, but it has really good on deletion effects and heritable, which is going to be really helpful. Maycrack, very similar on play when Digivolving. A lot of good synergy with Flamehouse Scythe as well when you do play from it. You get to like delete one of your opponent's Digimon that's level 3 or lower, and even potentially minus another 3000 DP to get rid of like rookies. Really, really good, and on deletion giving you the 2 memory. So yeah, these are definitely some of the cards you can add. And we still have the OG Magnet Angemon where you're on play, recover 1, still a really nice tech, still a really good card. You know, this card isn't played as much anymore now because you have a lot more archetype synergy with the new BT11 support card, so you really don't need it anymore as much. But yeah, 1 of is not bad at all, still for sure. Next, there's Angewomon X Antibody. This is really good because now you have a lot of Angewomon names that you can play around. You can actually play this card and it helps you quite a bit because it digivolves for 0 on top of Angewomon, and then immediately when digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gets security -1 until the end of the opponent's turn. If Angewomon or X Antibody, which is most likely going to be your Angewomon because we don't play X Antibody in this deck, is in its sources, you get to recover 1. So a really, really good card for sure. And a 1-off tech is always really nice too. Then we have the other older LadyDevimon from the Mastemon starter deck. This one is also a really good searcher in terms of trashing a card when digivolving, and then you get to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 yellow and 1 purple card with Angel or Fallen Angel among them, and then place the remaining to the bottom. Also, her inheritable is really good and very similar to the BT11 one, giving it retaliation, but the only difference is this one is for your turn and for yellow Digimon specifically, when you do have a yellow Digimon as well. So yeah, this is still not a bad card for sure. For the original Mastemon, some of you guys can be playing. This one's a really good for like ending games when your opponent's at like a lethal stage. You can actually like trash security and then, you know, play potentially like a Devimon for rush if you have, and really, really good combos right there. So you can make multiple swings and basically finish the game very quickly. Still, yeah, I still really like this card, but I just find it difficult to find room to play it because if you do play it, you may not play the Raguelmon or Ordinemon package just because there's not enough room anyways. But yeah. And then games do go long. Creepymon is a really good card to incorporate when you're going for a grindy matchup and the game prolongs. You're going to have a lot of cards in your trash. Creepymon comes in clutch and you can potentially mill your opponent out as the secondary win condition, which is kind of cheesy sometimes, but it's really cool when you pop it off because it gives you a different way to win the game, and it does come out very clutch, especially when you're running out of time if you're playing competitively too. And then last but not least, there is the BT1 TK, which is also a memory setter, which you can play other than Kari. Really good for additional searching, grabbing yourself a yellow card from your security and then recovering 1. But I personally don't like this card that much because you can potentially not see any yellow cards in your security, and then you have to grab something you don't get to recover. It just really like becomes a really unfortunate and sad when that happens. But yeah, still a very good consideration just in case. Okay, so that's it for all the cards I want to talk about. Now let's showcase you guys the combos and how to play this. So there are quite a lot of combos to go through for this deck, and I'm going to try to go through as the most commonly seen ones. But just to begin off, let's start off with the common early game strategy of what you want to do and how to play the deck. So of course you hatch your egg and then you digivolve your Demi-Meramon into ideally your Tapermon. Otherwise any other rookie really works, but Tapermon gives you the best value. And as soon as you can, really just push it up in your next turn and just swing into your opponent's security so you can trigger the drawing cards and the trashing cards or whatever you need, which is going to give you the utmost value up front. On the same time, you know, you want to be playing your purple memory boost when you can for searching, and setting up your Mirei earlier on is also really, really good and is very, very beneficial. And of course, like the ideal, your core card, like we always talked about, Gatomon is going to be really important so they can search and grab for your angels. So in the next stages, you're going to be wanting to digivolve your Gatomon into your Angewomon and your LadyDevimons, or whichever you kind of see first. Ideally, you really want to go into your new yellow Angewomon so they can search your security and grab the other angels that you need. Otherwise, you would be digivolving the OG LadyDevimon, which I kind of like more, so you can cycle through cards and trash cards and draw and whatnot. And then this other LadyDevimon can help you grab cards back from the trash, whichever you need, again, at the certain point. This one becomes a little bit more less important in terms of digivolving because your priority would be these 3 instead. And while you're trashing your cards, you definitely want to be trashing your Lucemon Chaos mode in your trash and setting it up so it can be played back later on too. Now, let's just say in this case, once you have all your combo pieces sorted out, 1 memory is really all you need to start your turn, and a Mirei with everything else. You don't even need the purple memory boost all the time.
So having the Mirei really helps, and the Gatomon, and you start your turn at 1, your opponent puts you to 1, Mirei immediately gives you another 1 memory anyways here, and then you can then Digivolve into the Angewomon, and then search, find your LadyDevimon or whatnot, and because your Gatomon Digivolve into a Angewomon, and it is the only Digimon on the board, it is fulfilling the 1 or less, you get to suspend your Mirei to play the other one from your hand. So ideally it will be this one because it's going to provide you a pretty good inheritable, otherwise it will be this other LadyDevimon. So really choose on depending what you have when you need to go into your combo. And then instead of the old times of doing the end of turn DNA, you can now DNA on the same turn. But also, because you play the LadyDevimon with Angewomon's effect right here, you get to gain that 1 memory back after paying the 1 memory from Digivolving with Gatomon there too. So you're still sitting at 1 at this moment, and then you DNA right here into your Maste. And then this is where you have options, depending on what you're about to play. So you search your trash, and ideally, you probably want to pick up your Lucemon Chaos Mode to put it into your security, and then play it back, and then shuffle your security, so then you can pop either a Tamer or a level 6 or lower Digimon, and then afterwards with Mastemon, you can pop something that is level 5 or less as well, depending on what kind of boards you want to clear. Otherwise, you can even play the Angewomon here to minus security on something your opponent's board, and at this moment, you have a pretty good inheritable stacks here. Angewomon and LadyDevimon together during your opponent's turn, all your angels are going to be blocker, and they're going to have retaliation as well. So Angewomon can be very ideal in this situation. Keep in mind that Lucemon Chaos Mode isn't an angel, which is kind of unfortunate because he kind of looks like one anyways. But so he will not gain the retaliation and the blocker, unfortunately. So with this newer play combo, you might actually want to prioritize your Angewomon being played like this instead, and then you can sort of combo off and bridge off in the next turn too. Now, since your turns is still retained, after this brand new combo, you can just go in and swing with Mastemon if you want to be aggressive. Otherwise, if you want to be defensive, you can keep them unsuspended to continue blocking and continue controlling the board and so on. And then your next steps is, you can even follow up with a Ordinemon on one of these guys, whichever you chose to play earlier on. Here not as much value because then Ordinemon will only get to recover, you don't get to pop something, but that's really the way how it is. Otherwise, you continue to play, and that's really the core new basic combo of Mastemon here. Okay, so now let's showcase you guys the slightly suboptimal combo when you don't have Mirei, which is kind of like the older combo. And 1 memory again is really all you need, You just Digivolve for 1 into one of your LadyDevimons or Angewomons, whichever the options you guys have here, and you want to make sure you got the other one, to pay the 1 memory to go to 0. Draw your cards, do the 1 Digivolving effects, and depending on what you have, let's just say you want to play this brand new Angewomon right here. You put your opponent to 7, and then you would then do the end of turn of Gatomon to DNA here into your Maste, and then repeat the same second part where you either play one of your angels from your trash and then put it in the security, and then just choose whichever you want depending on how you want to play or how you want to control the board. And then let's just say once again, I like to go for the Lucemon usually to pop things and whatnot like that. So that is also the older combo. Okay, now let's show you guys the Raguelmon and the Ordinemon combo, and you're gonna need a little bit more memory than just 1 this time. You ideally, you have either your memory tamer Kari, or you have a Mirei or a purple memory boost, and the other condition is you're gonna have to have 1 or fewer security left in your stack. So somehow you just need to be at 2 memory, otherwise you'd be at 3 with Kari and whatnot. And then the 2 cards you really want to be seeing in your hand will be your Ordinemon and your Raguelmon in order to fulfill the combo. It's very easy to find one of each of these cards anyways, because you actually do have quite a bit of draw power and search power in the deck, and you get there in the late game to see these pieces and cards. And the other condition is you want to either have like a Mastemon or a Ordinemon in your trash during that moment. So let's just say here you have 2 with no security, and your opponent has like a really wide board. You would pay the 12 memory, which you're going to have to because this is a huge comeback stage. You play Raguelmon. Raguelmon on play will let you play a yellow or purple Digimon with 6,000 DP or less, but because you have 1 or fewer security, you get to play one of these guys here. And let's just say you play Mastemon here. Raguelmon's second effect has a end of turn DNA just like Gatomon. So what you want to be doing, it doesn't really matter which order you put in particular. If you might have to play around the Digivolving effects, then make sure you keep that in mind. But then you DNA in here into Ordinemon. Ordinemon will wipe out the board and you get to recover. So that's really how I want to go with the Raguelmon, Mastemon, and Ordinemon combo too.
That'll wrap up for the deck profile today. If you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful, please give it a like. If you have any suggestions, recommendations, or questions, be sure to share it with everyone in the comments down below. Overall, we all know that the Mastemon deck has a higher learning ceiling curve, and it takes a lot of practice for you in order to play it very well. So definitely play as much as you can and experiment with it as much as you can to come up with your own personal playstyle and build for it. We got lots more Digimon videos and BT11 content coming your way, so once again, be sure to hit that subscribe button right now, turn on that notification bell to stay tuned. As always, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. See you next video. It is Avault, signing out.